times seek change, so must we. That the new time requires new response to new challenges.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another edition of the program As You Answer the Call. I am Rashida Abubakar, your new host on the program. As the world grapples with the outbreak of another deadly COVID-19 variant, Omicron, the federal government is intensifying efforts to ensure that Nigerians are protected through vaccination. Don't hesitate to get yours now in order to stay safe. Once again, welcome to the program As You Answer the Call. Tonight on the program, we are focusing on how NAHCON and its stakeholders take pilgrims through public enlightenment exercises on civic duties during Hajj operations. Details of how this is done will come your way shortly in our Spotlight segment. Also in the program, we have our regular segments such as the NAHCON News Diary, which features the activities of NAHCON chairman, key functionaries of the commission and other stakeholders. This and more shortly. Stay tuned.
Every Muslim is a potential pilgrim. To make the Hajj possible for the Ummah, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON is running a Hajj saving scheme through Jaiz Bank. The scheme allows depositors to gradually save for the Hajj over a period of time. Registration into the Hajj saving scheme is ongoing for all Muslims. Muslims wishing to perform Hajj can be enrolled into the scheme through the following outlets: NAHCON offices across the country, state pilgrims welfare boards, agencies and commissions, any branch of Jaiz Bank in the country. Enrollment can also be done directly by logging into dedicated sites for the scheme. Let's participate and support the Hajj saving scheme for better Hajj services.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's begin the program with the news diary as presented from our studio.
The members of the committee established by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON to oversee the establishment of staff clinic at Hajj House has inspected the site for the project. Chairman of the committee and NAHCON Commissioner of Policy, Personnel Management and Finance, Alhaji Nur Hassan Yakase led other members of the committee on the inspection. NAHCON is establishing the clinic to cater for the needs of staff. It is also to serve as a requirement for the establishment of the Hajj Institute of Nigeria. On a sad note, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON mourns the passing away of its board member Alhaji Ibrahim Ogbonnia Ama, aged 57. He died on Thursday the 30th of November 2021 at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Until his death, Alhaji Ibrahim Ama was the commissioner representing the Southeast on NAHCON board. A statement by the NAHCON head of public affairs, Hajia Fatima Sanda Usara, says the late Alhaji Ama was very active and contributed greatly during board meetings and other engagements of the commission. The late board member hailed from Ezi Ogbu in Afikpo North local government area of Ebonyi State. He is survived by 3 wives, 11 children and a grandchild. May his soul rest in peace and may Allah grant him Jannatul Firdaus.
Alhamdulillah, you are still watching As You Answer the Call, a public enlightenment presentation that keeps you abreast of the activities of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON and other Hajj-related matters. The attention being paid to pilgrims' enlightenment by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON and its stakeholders underscores the importance attached to the exercise. The enlightenment programs are designed to cater for the spiritual needs of the pilgrims during Hajj and Umrah. It also takes the pilgrims through lessons on civic duties expected of pilgrims while performing the Hajj. How this is done is the focus of our next segment, Spotlight.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك.
Civic education is very essential for the successful conduct of Hajj pilgrimage, and the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON does not leave anything to chance in ensuring that intending pilgrims are enlightened about the do's and don'ts associated with international travels. They are also encouraged to understand their duties, rights and privileges in the course of the Hajj or Umrah. Imam Zikrullah Ibrahim works in the Pilgrims Education and Orientation Division of NAHCON. He talks about the need for intending pilgrims to undergo civic orientation.
The civic aspect is one of vital aspects of the orientation, which we need to educate our intended pilgrims, because they are coming from different backgrounds, and majority of our intended pilgrims are coming from rural area. They are not used to modern facilities. So because of that, we have to train them in civic way.
In discharging these responsibilities, particularly to those currently on Umrah or Lesser Hajj, NAHCON has in place an Umrah Pilgrims Enlightenment Committee.
Of course, their primary duty is to get a platform through the instrumentality of the ICT for taking advantage of this digitization that we are into, to get that platform where they can easily reach out to Umrah pilgrims, and in which case all Umrah pilgrims in due course of time are now going to be we are now going to be having information about them from the tour operators, and then key them into our system so that when you send one message, everybody will get the message across. And should they have that message through that means, we will begin to let them enlighten them on what their rights and privileges are.
The Umrah Pilgrims Enlightenment Committee has the following terms of reference: educate and enlighten pilgrims on their rights and privileges during Umrah, design comprehensive enlightenment materials for dissemination, ensure such information is disseminated to all Umrah intending pilgrims before their departure to Saudi Arabia through the 3 departure centers, namely Abuja, Kano and Lagos, and also liaise with all Umrah license companies to arrange for the enlightenment.
The key stakeholders that the Umrah Enlightenment Committee should work with are the tour operators, because Umrah is more of a private arrangement with the tour operators. Yes, NAHCON is the regulatory body over them. We have our laid down rules that they must comply with as standard. After all, the NAHCON licensed them. And about NAHCON, beyond mere granting of license, they have also set up a Umrah Monitoring Committee. It's a standing committee. This committee will now have to work together to ensure that activities of these tour operators, and as well as activities of the Umrah pilgrims, are properly well monitored. So we need orientation for the Umrah pilgrims to know that they have a platform where they can lay their complaint. And before they lay their complaint, they should be able to know their right.
Similarly, the committee is to ensure that Umrah pilgrims are aware about COVID-19 protocols, as well as observe and adhere to globally accepted practice for the containment of the disease.
Even the COVID regulations, rules, all of those things will be captured there, so that as soon as you pay, you know that you are entitled to be tested and be given results. And those results are part of the requirements needed for you to be able to fly to Saudi Arabia. And upon arriving in Saudi Arabia, you also have other tests done to come back, and of course vaccination. So we will use the medium to enlighten them on vaccination. We will use the medium to enlighten them on doing the test for COVID.
Walking through its plans, NAHCON and its stakeholders always warn pilgrims against carrying any prohibited items during airlift or for Hajj or Umrah. These items are gaseous materials, inflammable items, sharp objects, insecticides, lighter or matchboxes.
Likewise, we have to advise our intended pilgrims that they should desist from helping another person in carrying their luggage or their baggage, because you don't know what that person put in his luggage. So please help me carry this. They should desist in that. Don't help anybody carry baggage. Don't help anybody carry, even if it is water, because you don't know what is inside that water, what is contained.
Should you be brought to airport to say that you are going to fly by 2 p.m., for example, and there is a reason for the delay to fly, and this delay is coming from the aircraft, the owners, and all of those, and even the tour operator, they should be able to provide for you an accommodation where you can refresh. So you should not be left stranded. All of those are right, we are telling them.
Also, in the course of pilgrims' airlift, officials at the airports in Nigeria subject pilgrims to routine security checks and at the same time guide them on what they are expected to do for a successful airlift. Over the years, NAHCON sets up ad hoc committees to serve as civic educators to pilgrims. Such committees include those of National Reception, Accommodation and Feeding, National Medical Team, National Ulama Team, and Security Committee. In the course of the Hajj exercise, pilgrims are taught what to do in the following areas: luggage handling, pilgrims' education on prohibited items, awareness creation on how to handle travel documents, how pilgrims should move about during the Hajj, as well as being security conscious, visa overstays and abscondment. Others are how to make good use of facilities in apartments and mashair, and medical and physical requirements.
This medical checkup is very, very important. The intended pilgrim should not look him or herself that he is too fit. He doesn't need checkup. You need to go for medical checkup. When you go for medical checkup and the medical personnel now advise you on what to do, then you continue. Whether they ask you to jog every day or just to take walk every day to improve your health, because the type of the work that you are going to do in the Holy Land is not a small work. Then coming to the vaccine, there are some pre-Hajj vaccine that which is recommended by medical personnel, like meningitis vaccine, yellow fever vaccine.
Also, through the civic education, pilgrims are warned to avoid falling victims of fraudsters when making monetary transactions, which involves the exchange of the US dollar to Saudi Riyal.
If you are going to go and change your dollar, try and go to authorized place. Go to authorized place where you are going to see the exchange rate from dollar to Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, from pound sterling to Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, from euro to Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. They will place it for you.
The impact of the civic and other forms of pilgrims awareness campaigns have always been the major driving force in making Nigerian pilgrims good ambassadors of the country.
MashaAllah. The program is As You Answer the Call. Coming up next is Making the Hajj.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Maqama Ibrahim, otherwise known as the station of the Prophet Abraham alayhi salam, is an important Hajj landmark located at the Haram Masjid in Mecca. What history is associated with Maqam Ibrahim? What are the pilgrims recommended to do at the place?
The place in which God manifests signs.
On Making the Hajj Tonight, Imam Abdul Karim Jamiu answers these and other questions.
The Maqam Ibrahim refer to the stone on which Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam stood on while he was building the Kaaba. As his son, Prophet Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam, he used to pass stone to his father, that is Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And as Ibrahim continued laying them in the place they call Maqam Ibrahim, miraculously continue rising higher and higher as the walls of the building rose. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused the trace of footprints of the remaining on the stone as a reminder to the believers among his descendants.
The Islamic scholar further says,
this Maqam Ibrahim is a small squared stone inside a glass and metal enclosure with what is said to be an imprint of Prophet Ibrahim. According to some tradition, according to one tradition, they say this stone was sent from the heaven to Prophet Ibrahim along with two stones. One of these stones that sent along with the stone that they used to build the Kaaba is a Hajar al-Aswad. The second one that it was sent to him is a stone of children of Israel.
Why is the place called Maqam Ibrahim?
The expression Maqam Ibrahim occurs twice in the glorious Quran. It's mentioned at Quran 3 verse 97 when Almighty Allah is saying, Inna awwala bayti wudiya linnasi lilladhi bibakkata mubaraka wa uda lil alamin fihi ayatun bayyinatun maqama Ibrahim wa ma dahalahu kana amina. Meaning, the first house of worship appointed to man was that of Bakka. Bakka means Mecca, full of blessing and guidance for all the worlds. In it are signs manifest. The station of Ibrahim, whoever, there are signs of a manifest in the station of Ibrahim, that is Maqam Ibrahim. Almighty Allah says, whoever enters it attain security. So whoever they enter the Maqam Ibrahim or enter Bakka, such person has been secure.
What acts of worship are recommended for pilgrims at Maqam Ibrahim?
Once the tawaf is completed, it is mandatory for the pilgrim to offer 2 rakahs, preferably close to the glass enclosed, and observe 2 rakahs of nafilat. And it is encouraged for the pilgrims to recite the fourth rakah, to recite Surah Al-Fatiha and Surah Al-Kafirun. The second one, you recite Surah Al-Fatiha and Surah Al-Ikhlas, that is Qul Hu Allah. It is not allowed for a pilgrim because some pilgrimage they will go and be touching the glass, the enclosed glass, and be rubbing it in their body that their prayer has been granted, and so many things that is not permissible. By rubbing the glass and use it to rub our body is not encouraged.
What supplications should pilgrims offer while at the station of Ibrahim?
Maqam Ibrahim, there is no any, it's not written anywhere that this is a specific supplication that one can offer when he's in a Maqam Ibrahim. The only thing is to perform the nafilah, but whatever you want to supplicate, whatever prayer you want to observe there, it is allowed. So one can perform any supplication at Maqam Ibrahim.
Imam Abdul Karim Jamiu advised intending pilgrims to seek more knowledge on Hajj rites in order to earn Hajj Mabrur.
Every Muslim is a potential pilgrim. To make the Hajj possible for the Ummah, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON is running a Hajj savings scheme through Jaiz Bank. The scheme allows depositors to gradually save for the Hajj over a period of time. Registration into the Hajj savings scheme is ongoing for all Muslims. Muslims wishing to perform Hajj can be enrolled into the scheme through the following outlets: NAHCON offices across the country, state pilgrims welfare boards, agencies and commissions, any branch of Jaiz Bank in the country. Enrollment can also be done directly by logging into dedicated sites for the scheme. Let's participate and support the Hajj savings scheme for better Hajj services.
Alhamdulillah. Up next is the quiz.
Welcome to the quiz segment. The question in the last episode was, what is the name of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's favorite camel? The correct answer is Al-Qaswa. The winner is Sagir Ibrahim from Kefi in Nasarawa State. He provided the answer ahead of others. Sagir Ibrahim will be contacted on how NAHCON will reach him with the prize he won. A quiz winner will get 25,000 Naira cash prize. This is part of NAHCON's effort in social investment in Nigeria. Now to the quiz for this week, and the question is, what important lesson does the stoning of Jamarat represent? I repeat, what important lesson does the stoning of Jamarat represent? Text your answer to the number showing on your screen. The winner will be the first person whose correct answer is received. All answers should carry the name and location of sender. Good luck and happy viewing.
Viewers seeking clarification or have questions to ask on any matter relating to Hajj and Umrah management and operations can do so through this program. Relevant officers will be contacted to respond appropriately. We also welcome your messages, comments, observations, and questions through our mobile number and other social media platforms. Remember, you can stop the spread of coronavirus by complying with all preventive measures. Let's support our government in the fight against coronavirus. That's it on this edition of the program as you answer the call. Join me same time next week for another package. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا